Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to your superb Saturday. And let's make it absolutely superb by manifesting our dreams and taking them further by visualizing them as we give them power. So without further ado, let's start. How wonderful. Each one of us creates, each one of us believes, and each one of us brings it to fruition. Very beautiful. So let's start our morning with our body to realize something important for our body, to how to make it more conducive for it to grow, and how it can help us to grow in the spiritual journey. So let's understand a bit about our body this morning. So lifestyle number 30, brown sugar or white sugar. So you may have heard about brown sugar, but today you're going to have a couple of more facts that you probably have never heard. So for a long time, people have been paying more money for brown sugar than white sugar in the belief that brown sugar is healthier. But this is sadly not true. Before I get into the process of exactly how brown sugar is produced, let me state that all sugar is bad for you when overconsumed, whether brown, white, raw, or golden. Sugar is made from sugar cane, which is pressed to extract the sweet juice. The crystals that form in the liquid are raw sugar. This raw sugar is then processed and vacuum dried to attain its light golden color. This is then sent to the refinery for further processing. After filtration of the liquid to remove the plant trash and dirt, the remainder is boiled, leaving behind a brown sludge called molasses. Molasses contains a very small amount of potassium, calcium, magnesium, B vitamin, and trace minerals, such as copper, manganese, iron, and chromium. However, this entire process is not sufficient to give you your daily requirement of trace minerals. When raw sugar is further processed, it's washed and separated. Pure white sugar is 99.9% sucrose. White sugar mixed with molasses is brown sugar. So calorie-wise, a teaspoon of brown sugar would be 17 calories, and a teaspoon of white sugar would be 16 calories. Nutritionally, of course, brown sugar may win by just a fraction because it's got molasses in it. But I know many people who think that they can have more sugar if it's brown instead of white. Now, what is better for you is pure honey. Now, again, see the word pure honey. Now, if you're looking at anything which is commercially made, I'm not going to give brands ka naam, but you will know that how can somebody get so much of pure honey? There is something happening behind the scenes. So pure honey would mean the right source, go for it. Unadulterated jaggery or pure maple syrup. Pure jaggery holds on to its nutritional content. It loses all its fiber, iron, magnesium, B vitamins, phosphorus, and potassium when it is processed. So, however, jaggery is still a form of sugar and should be used in moderation. Again, coconut sugar is good, but yeah, Anything over too much is not really a great idea. We have to see from where we're getting our sugars. Most important is it organic or is it just, so even organic, we have to find the real source, that is it really organic or is it just for the sake of it? The powerful lifestyle change that I have seen people make with regard to sugar is consuming it in moderation. Whenever they feel like doing so, regardless of whether they have switched to raw honey, jaggery, stevia, or coconut sugar. You should consume sugar without guilt. Either enjoy it or don't have it. Enough has been written about the ill effects of sugar, so I'm not going to repeat it, but do know one thing, in most cases, sugar is more dangerous than oil. Sugar not only inhibits immunity, it is also what cancer cells thrive on. So when it comes to weight loss, you must know that sugar inhibits HGH, the hormone that helps you build lean mass and lose fat. It impairs insulin functions, which leads to fat storage in the body and elevates cortisol levels, the hormone that switches on your fat storage function. A lot of my patients ask about sulfurless sugar. Sulfur dioxide is used to produce this sugar. It's basically what gives molasses a lighter color and a longer shelf life. So yes, sulfurless sugar is far healthier. But on the other hand, artificial sweeteners like aspartame, which has been linked with Alzheimer's diseases, Parkinson's, or many kinds of cancers and other health issues, especially for women, such as hormonal imbalance, fibroids, cysts. So if I were to given a choice about artificial sweetener and white sugar, I would pick the latter because the human body is not designed to break down aspartame. Remember that you don't have control over the amount of sugar in processed food. So make sure that your overall consumption is balanced because sugar is always an empty calorie. So that is why all of a sudden you would have seen the surge in the market for black coffee or milkless tea or sugarless tea because that is important for our body. So sugar is any which ways than the processed food. I don't know how many of us has actually removed processed food so in our diets, but if we actually go back to organic, even a bit of sugar is not bad. Depends on what we're eating, how we're eating. The problem is when we have outside food, it definitely has sugar in it, whatever we're picking up. So yesterday we started a new chapter about the pit-pull persistence, and we all realized that bina persistence se kuch bhi nahi chalta. So today I think we can do about 3 or 4 steps. It's in total, I think there's about 6 steps for persistence. So let's understand how can you and I acquire the discipline of persistence. Discipline ke bina nothing works in life. Discipline is very, very, very important. So the step 1, how do we understand this? Again, some points are going to be repetitive, which you have studied in the past, but there are some fits which fit all right. So this is going to be probably here as well. So, but let's understand what is the context for this. Our first step would be gaining a vision and utilizing the dream conversion process. So clarity of what we want in the future is most important. And now we have to become the dream converters rather than just the dreamers. So as we saw with Thomas Edison, persistence begins with the vision. The incredible wisdom of Solomon attested to this when he wrote in Proverbs 29:18. Without a vision, the people perish. Solomon wasn't speaking of physical death, but rather death of the soul. Without vision, people lose their joy and passion for life and slip into the quagmire of mediocrity, simply existing or just getting by, rather than truly living. Without a vision, there is no passion, and without passion, there is no fuel for persistence. So I don't know how many of you are simply living. For the sake of it, you're just going by. There is no passion, there's no purpose, there's no vision in your life. If there isn't, how can you and I have a great life? Because we're not even getting there. So one thing is, vision is very, very, very imperative. It should be obvious by now that utilizing the dream conversion process is both foundational and critical to igniting and fueling all 7 engines in the art of dream conversion. And getting a clear and precise vision of your dreams and putting that dream into writing in the first and the most important step. So again, we have learned the science of dream conversion, right? In that, first thing we were guided every other day is writing that dream down. writing the vision down, breaking it into doable steps. What can be done? Having people mentor us. The entire plan of dream conversion, we can't let it go. But before that, we have to have a dream. However, the remaining steps in dream conversion process are equally important in developing persistence. When you convert your dream into tangible goals and then convert those goals into steps and those steps into tasks, you're not only gaining a roadmap to achieving your dreams, you're also gaining a new vision of how you're going to achieve your dreams. And after you do that, after you make them into goals and tasks, please remember the timeline. Please evaluate. Please encourage yourselves to, maybe you've got some reminders, maybe you've got some accountability partner. Somebody has to be there to check on your process if you are not able to do it yourself. आप delay पढ़ सकते हैं, but somebody else who's accountable, could be even your child, will not let you go easy. Once you do that, what creates is a beautiful, well-founded hope that fuels your passion and persistence, because there is hope, right? That I can do it. I'm answerable. I'm accountable. Remember Dick Clark's offer of a dream vacation for two. All you have to do was drive from New York to his home in California in 7 days without having his address or using a map or asking directions. You would never even start out on such a hopeless journey. But once you were told you would be given his precise address and clear directions to his door, everything changed. Such a map not only gave you what you physically needed to accomplish the trip and of doing it with time to spare, it also provided all the hope you need to persist all the way to the end. Just as the dream conversion process ignited and fueled your persistence in this hypothetical dream, so it will ignite and fuel your persistence in the pursuit of your actual dreams. So very important to have a dream, very important to have the break steps. How do you do it? Very important to have answerability, very important to have a clear direction, a roadmap. Without that, you and I can't process. And for having roadmap, even that has to be done tangible. It has to be tangible. So let's get started if we still haven't. If we are still the dreamers or we're waiting for some magic wand to come and change our life, then let's wake up, because ultimately, remember, each one of us is a creator. Nobody will come and help anybody, even if a couple is right here. You can be accountability partners, but ultimately the husband has to dream and the wife has to dream. Or if they're collective, if they're common dreams, then they have to fuel it with their passion, with their fire, with their persistence, and with the steps that we've learned. Before 1849, there were many pioneers who decided to go west to seek out a better life for themselves and their families. But very few made it all the way to California. Their somewhat general dream did not provide enough fuel to persist in such a long and difficult journey. And in 1849, gold was discovered. And all of a sudden, thousands of families not only started out of California, but they persisted through all kinds of terrible conditions, trials, tribulations, until they finally reached the gold fields. You see, unlike the earlier settlers, they weren't simply going west. You see, unlike the earlier settlers, they weren't simply there for a generic life. They were wanting something which was better. And the general dream became what? It became something where they were looking for some particular goal. That better life had a rather specific goal about searching for the gold, finding it, and becoming rich. Or they were going to get rich by supplying foods, supplying goods and services to all other people who are going for the gold. So either they're part of the people who are finding the gold in the journey, providing them some means, or they're the ones doing it. But they had very specific dreams, and they converted those dreams into goals, and then converted their goals into steps, and then the steps into tasks. And the result was they ignited and continually fueled their persistence engine. They had all the persistence they needed to overcome mountains and deserts, outlaws and Indians, disease and pestilence. So the first step to acquiring or dreaming, developing persistence is gaining a clear vision of a dream, utilizing the dream conversion process. So I feel the first partial step you probably have done. Maybe you have a clear vision. Now, your question to yourself would be, Have you done the dream conversion process? Have you made a foundation for your dream? Have you analyzed that what is the timeline? What is the goals? What are the tasks? Who are the people who are going to help you? Have you done that? That's the common step for even getting discipline. So discipline will happen when you have a goal, right? How can I have discipline? Suppose if I say, okay, I'm going to be disciplined to wake up in the morning at 3. But what do I do at 3? Just wake up and do what? So, but if I know that 3 o'clock is the time that I do my one meditation, 3:30 I took my quick cold shower, 3:40 again do other meditation, and I finish that at 4 o'clock and blah, blah, blah. And then I join something, and 5 o'clock I'm here. So at least I'm disciplined to be following it and persistently doing it because I have a goal. What is the goal? Probably to empower lives or probably to empower my own, right? So gaining a vision is very important. Then breaking them is down into goals is very, very, very important. Number step in this journey of discipline would be shoot for the moon and broaden your vision. And this is something we've learned before also. Dream big, think big, achieve big. If we think only as a mediocre level, how can we achieve something which is gigantic or something magnificent? So next step, once again, follows Thomas Edison's example. Ignite the second engine in the art of dream conversion and shoot for the moon. This means looking at all of the greatest potential benefits and possible ramifications of your dream. For example, if your dream is to have a marriage where all your deepest emotional needs are met, and when you are able to meet all the deepest needs of your spouse, list all the potential ramifications of achieving that dream. In addition to the greater level of joy and fulfillment that you will experience, your children will also gain greater security and fulfillment. They will gain a clear picture of what a marriage should be, seeing how a husband and wife can truly meet each other's deepest needs and desires. You visualize how that will help them to work towards their own fulfilling marriages, and likewise be a tremendous blessing to their children. You see generations of strong families resulting from the achieving of your dreams. You think of the tremendous contribution you and your children will be able to make to others who want the same kind of fulfilling relationships you have. As you begin to see all the potential benefits and ramifications of your dream, your broad vision will give you all the persistence you need to wade through the hardships and overcome the obstacles that stand between you and your fulfilled dream. So while Steve Scott is talking to us about marriages, per se example, very important for us to understand that our children are observing every little thing. So please only show them what you think is right for them rather than educating them too much. Be careful because you may be scarring them or making them. Be careful of what foot you're putting in front of them. They're not as old as you think they are. They have chosen you as parents, great. They are souls which on their own journey, great, yes. But there are some human virtues and qualities that they pick up from us. So let's be very careful about that also. Let's keep that also in part of our vision. Number 3, step 3 is spread your vision to others. Very, very, very important. Partnership is extremely important. As soon as Edison gained and made a written record of a vision for an invention with all of its broadest ramifications, he communicated that vision to his staff and workers. He did everything he could do to make sure they got the entire vision. They then became a team of people unified and motivated by the same vision. In doing this, Edison ignited the third and most powerful engine in the art of dream conversion, Steven Spielberg partnering. In addition to the other benefits of partnering, its impact on persistence is absolutely incredible. It's awesome. When Edison became discouraged and his persistence engine began to burn out, he wanted to abandon his dreams for a new invention. But what happened? However, one or more of his associates were still fired up with persistence, and their persistence carried him through until his persistence engine was reignited. So sometimes you will lose the track of your dream and forget it, nahi hota. But if you have a partner, whoever is partnering, and if they are fueled enough, charged enough, then again, they will motivate you back and put you back on track. That's why it's very important to have a partner. Any kind of partner, somebody who's incredibly in the picture with you in your vision. American Telecast has been run by 7 partners for 21 years. We have nearly gone under and lost everything at least 3 times. But the reason we were able to persist through the hardest times was because there was never a time when all 7 of us gave up or burnt out at the same time. When one or more of us no longer had the stamina to persist, there was always at least 1 or 2 who did. Solomon echoed the principle in the 4th chapter of Ecclesiastics. I think so. I'm not sure. He wrote, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him again that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him again. So very important to understand, हमेशा एक से भले दो, right? एक अगर नीचे गिर गया दूसरा उसको उठाने के लिए है, दूसरा गिर गया पहला उसको उठाने के लिए है. अगर मैं अकेली ही चल रही हूँ without anybody, मैं गिर गई तो गिर गई, nobody will be there to pick me up. So very important. If 2 lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevails against him, 2 shall withstand him. And 3-fold cord is not quickly broken. एक से भले दो, दो से भले तीन. Have you ever seen a braid, women braid, or the cords which are braided? 2 are never so strong. 3 can never be broken. You need a pair of scissors to break that because it's so tough. धागा भी 1 लो, 2 लो, 3 लो, तीनों में बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. So that is why they're saying a 3-fold cord is not easily broken. And when you share your vision with others, your persistence will be fueled and empowered by theirs and vice versa. So very, very important to have people as much with you in your vision, because akele you may fall, twice you'll stand up, thrice you will never ever fall. Step number 4. And this is something we have learned from every other day. This is something that we have to tell ourselves again and again and again. I know very many people do not like criticism, but guess what? Criticism is the only thing that actually broadens your vision, makes you understand that you are not on the right path or there's some corrective measure to be taken. So criticism dena important hai. Kaise dena hai? We've learned from this already. A criticism should always be sandwiched because then it's very effective. Because ऐसे आप standalone कर दोगे, people will not understand. But 2 compliment के बीच criticism करोगे, and that too in a nicer fashion, then you've run a complete strikeout. So expect criticism and strikeouts, and learn the right way to deal with them. So no one enjoys criticism or failure. Yet, for dream achievers, they are as much a part of life as eating and drinking. So, बिना criticism के आप और मैं नहीं grow हो सकते. We need a little bit of that. Not too much, but we need a bit of that. In chapter 5 and 6, we've looked at the right way to view and deal with failure and criticism. I have met a great many people in my life who have never learned the right way to deal with either criticism or failure. Those people rarely persist at anything worthwhile. The reason is that they are so easily distracted, detoured, or defeated by criticism and by their strikeouts or the strikeouts of others. As I talk to people who have given up on their dreams too early, I've discovered that they not only lacked persistence, they all shared a common trait. They were always surprised by criticisms and by their strikeouts and the strikeouts of others. And yet things are part of everyday life. So criticism is something that we have to take beautifully. In fact, if somebody criticizes, I say, oh, wow, okay, great. Now I truly have something to learn. शुरू में अच्छा नहीं लगता, लेकिन हमने 2-3 चीजें सीखी हैं. रिस्पॉन्ड करना है, रिएक्ट नहीं करना. सोचना क्रिटिसिज्म क्यों मिल रही है, इट्स फॉर माय बेनिफिट. एंड अरे मैं तो इतना करता हूँ, उसके बाद क्रिटिसाइज कर रही है. नो, दैट्स नॉट द एटीट्यूड. वी शुड टेक इट दैट इट्स ऑल फॉर माय ग्रोथ, right? So very, very important for us to change our perception if we still haven't changed. If you really want to develop persistence, you must first begin to expect criticism and strikeouts and be prepared to deal with them in the proper ways. Chapter 6 gave you everything you need in order to deal with criticism. But what about strikeouts? I have two very close friends who are midway through their lives and they have still not learned the right way to handle strikeouts, theirs or others. As a result, they've achieved only a tiny fraction of what they are capable of achieving. Even worse, they are unhappy a great deal of the time. And nobody likes working with them. When somebody goes wrong on one of their projects, they typically blow up. They attack, they blame, they criticize, and so forth. Who wants to work with someone like that? That's something we must understand. If अगर हम ऐसे इंसान हैं जो हर समय अटैक कर रहे हैं, ब्लेम कर रहे हैं, क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं, या किसी जिसको राय का पहाड़ बना रहे हैं, then how will anybody want to work with us? Are we those kind of people? That's one thing we must realize. And अगर हम ऐसे लोग के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, so can we start finding something good in them which is good for us? उससे we are going to be increasing the gratitude power so much कि वो इंसान की फितरत भी बदल जाएगी. Believe me, it works. Try करके देखने की जरूरत है हम लोग को. Now, the question is, how do you currently deal with your strikeouts and the strikeouts of others? Let's first take a look at how you handle your strikeouts. Whether it's at home or on the job, when things don't go the way you want them to, or when you make a mistake or fall flat on your face, what do? Check the appropriate responses to the following questions. So, आज ये questionnaire है, you have to do it to understand where you are. In your reflection notebook, you can write these questions that you should do them. So, हम कैसे react करते हैं when we strike out? Do you become defensive, angry, discouraged, depressed? Second question, do you pout? Do you withdraw? Do you deny? Do you make excuses, rationalize, attack, blame others, or blame circumstances? Or do you accept responsibility for the strikeout, analyze, discover, and learn from the strikeout? Seek insights from others, become determined and diligent to try again, and not make the same mistake that caused the strikeout. दो चीजें हैं, हमारा रिएक्शन कैसे हो रहा है, हम परेशान होके एकदम डिप्रेस हो रहे हैं, या हम थोड़ा उससे अपटाइट होके विक्टिम गेम में जा रहे हैं कि आई एम अ विक्टिम एंड आई एम ब्लेमिंग अदर्स एंड पुअर मी, और हम एक्सेप्ट कर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और उसको एनालाइज कर रहे हैं, इंसाइट ले उससे दूसरे इंसान से पूछ रहे हैं, अच्छा आपने ये बोला, ओके हाउ कैन आई बिकम बेटर, आपके ओपिनियन क्या है, एंड उसको फिर हम वापस सोचे कि अरे इसने ये वाली बात बोली है, क्या ये मैं कर सकता हूँ, कैन आई ट्राई इट, इसने बोला हफ्ता भर ट्राई कर लूं, क्या पता कुछ बेटर ही हो जाए, या मैं कुछ समझने को रेडी नहीं हूँ और वापस सेम पैटर्न सेम मिस्टेक्स करूंगा. एंड लेट मी टेल यू समथिंग, जब आप और मैं नहीं सीखते लाइफ से, लाइफ वो पैटर्न्स वापस बार 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 थ्रो करती है हमारी लाइफ में, बिकॉज वी आर सपोज टू लर्न अ लेसन एंड हम सेम रिपीट मोड पे अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन. So very important for us to ask ourselves, where are we standing? By now, I think all of you are clear that number 3 is the number for creation. And yahan par bhi number 3 point is something that you and I have to adopt in life if we have to become dreamers, to dream converters. So if you're really not sure how you normally handle your strikeouts, show this questionnaire to your spouse, your friends, and ask them to help you check the right spaces. They are often more aware of how you routinely react than you are. एक बात मैं आपको और बताना चाहती हूँ, यूजुअली हम अपनी आंखों में खुद को बेटर दिखाना चाहते हैं एंड हम कई बार रियलिटी को फेस नहीं कर पाते. दिस इज हाउ आई एम एंड वी थिंक गुड अबाउट आवरसेल्व्स, व्हिच इज ग्रेट इन अ वे, बट हम रियलिटी से बहुत दूर होते हैं. सो कई बार करेक्टिव मेजर्स जरूरत है, रियलिटी चेक जरूरत है, एंड फॉर दिस द पीपल अराउंड यू विल नो यू बेटर देन यू नो योरसेल्फ. एक और क्वेश्चन आया था, अगर आप याद हो, लोगों से पूछे कि हाउ एम आई. सिमिलरली दिस इज अगेन आस्किंग पीपल. So very important. Once long back, I used to ask my daughters that, okay, help me in this, and then they were like, Mama, when we tell you, then you react like this, you don't even understand. So they gave me a reality check, and this is about many years ago, and that time they were much younger. So it's important sometimes to give importance to the little children also. Sometimes they know you better than you, your partner knows you better than you. although the reactions in the first question are all fairly routine, it is important to once again realize that you can choose to respond instead of following your inclination and react the wrong way. जो पहला चीज है ना कि हम डिफेंड करेंगे, हम एंग्री होंगे, हम डिस्करेज होंगे, डिप्रेस्ड होंगे, बहुत रेगुलर है. पर हमें ऐसा रिएक्शन देना है कि हमें एनालाइज करके रिस्पॉन्स देना है, वो हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. A lot of you said कि अब आप रिस्पॉन्ड करने लगे रिएक्ट की जगह, which is fantastic. Now, let's understand one more thing. If you do return to the plate to try again, your inclination may be to hope for a walk or just try for a bunt or a single. In a sense, this is returning to the safety of mediocrity. Instead, if you want to achieve your dreams, after the initial sting of the strikeout subsides, you must analyze why it happened. If you can't figure it out, you must seek the advice and insight of others. ये सेम फंडामेंटल है जो हम बार बार रोज बोलते हैं, आई एम ओपन एंड रिसेप्टिव. सो अगर मैं ओपन एंड रिसेप्टिव हूँ क्रिटिसिज्म के लिए, कंप्लेंट्स के लिए, तो मैं एक्चुअली किसके लिए ओपन एंड रिसेप्टिव हूँ? कैन समवन टेल मी? जब मैं लोग की बात से सहमति रखती हूँ, किसके लिए ओपन हूँ मैं? क्रिटिसिज्म तो आ गया, ठीक है, पर उसका रिजल्ट क्या हो रहा है? व्हाट एम आई बिकमिंग आफ्टर आई एम ओपन एंड रिसेप्टिव? I'm learning, yes. What else? Betterment of my action, absolutely. Better person, absolutely. So I am bettering my own journey. I'm empowering myself. So when I'm listening to the others and I'm trying to understand, मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हमको blindly सुनना है दूसरों की बातें. अगर मैं open and receptive हूँ criticism के लिए और उनके analysis के लिए, उनके reflections के लिए, तो मैं इसका मतलब ओपन हूँ एनालाइज करने के लिए अपने आप को कि हाँ भाई ये बात तो सही था. वो 4 बातें बोल रहा है, 2 बातें सही है, 2 बातें आपको सही नहीं लग रही. एटलीस्ट 2 बातों को तो इंक्लूड करके हम उस पैटर्न को तो बदले. ये तो पैटर्न वापस 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 आएगा. डू वी वांट दैट? So yes, I am aware now that these are my flaws. I'm converting them into my advantages. And yes, exactly. I'm being more centered. I'm being more balanced. I'm being more aligned because now I'm open and receptive. So complaints, criticism आती है, हम उसको criticize further नहीं करते, अरे ये तो हमेशा ऐसे बोलता है. We stop saying this. उससे हम क्या करें? We harping on it, we expanding it. So then we are going to be better people in life for sure. अगर हमने normal day-to-day life में भी इसको शुरू कर दिया यूज करना, so we'll be much better. You know, domestic staff tells you much better what character you have. आपको अपने लगता है कि अरे I am a very good character. Your staff will tell the others. I don't know how many of you know, in the old houses in the Marwadi clan, I've heard of this. People used to ask the staff, how is the boy in the house or how is the girl in the house? They can give you a more character detail than anybody else in the world can do, because how you handle your staff is also part of your integrity. And for the ones who are a little better in life, you will treat them well. But how you're treating a grassroots level person is what you're all about. So sometimes we have to work on our own virtues also. हमें realize भी नहीं होता कि हम कैसे बात कर लेते हैं. And the staff will give an exact picture. Of course, they're working for you. They can't be very honest, but no harm in asking. So very important to get that. So how do you handle the strikeouts of others? So now, how you handle other people's strikeouts is critical to achieving your dreams. Because your most powerful rocket engine is your ability to effectively partner. If you consistently mishandle strikeouts of others, your partnering engines will lose its power or burn out altogether. Even if you don't lose your partners, you will lose their minds and hearts and render your partnership impotent. Correctly handling other people's strikeouts is very critical to your acquiring persistence. Remember that there will be times when their persistence will keep you going, even when yours are non-existence. So if you fail to correctly respond to their strikeouts, you will deflate their sense of motivation, and consequently, it will not be available to help fuel yours. So अगर आप suppose अगर मैं दो जने हैं, I and you are partnering, and I'm going through a very low phase, very low phase. And अगर आप भी मेरे low phase से low चले गए, तो आप मेरे partner कहाँ बने? But अगर मैं low चली गई, आप बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं प्राची, it's okay, come on, let's do it. It's fine. This is just a phase. It's just a block. We'll go through this. Do this. Let's do this. And पक्का ठीक हो जाएगा. तो आपने मुझे boost कर दिया. और अगर आप ही हिल गए फाउंडेशन में, तो how can you be a good partner? and आप जो दोगे आपको मिलेगा. That's the law of the universe. The more you give, the more you get. Like versus like. So if you are, like attracts like. So the kind of person you are, that's what you're attracting. So please, let's work on our credibility. And let's ask ourselves $1 million question. Even again, there are 3 parts to this. Do you become critical, angry when others are striked out? Do you lecture, advise, criticize, discipline, correct, withdraw, attack? Or do you allow recovery time, listen, comfort, encourage, show patience, offer help and partnership? Remember we spoke about this कि जब किसी को प्रॉब्लम आती है, हमें ज्ञान माता ज्ञान पिता नहीं बनना. सबको बहुत भंडार है ज्ञान का. What do we have to tell them? कि मेरे साथ जब ऐसा कुछ हुआ था, मैंने कैसे किया. नेगेटिव किया तो वो भी बोलेंगे. People learn from our negative mistakes also. In our EO forum, this is what we all do. We just change somebody's perception by just telling them what we thought we did in the situation. And for this, recovery time is very, very, very important. If the iron is, if the person is very, very, very angry, allow him or her to cool down a bit. And rather than saying something, usko andar ki bhadass nikal dene do. Let the person say it all, listen, and just have a comforting shoulder. I'm here for you. Be patient, offer help, offer a partnership. And this is something all of us forget. So please, next time when somebody's in a crisis, remember, this is your job. Listening is an art which all of us should learn. And it's something which is very learnable. That's the best part. Here again, the natural inclination will be to react with the attitudes and actions described in question 1. However, once again, you can choose to respond with the attitude and activities described in question number 2. When you do, you'll strengthen the person, his persistence, his commitment to you. You will help elevate his fears of trying again. And ultimately, you will see him begin to succeed. So Steve Scott says, I would encourage you to ask others how you normally respond to their strikeouts and then ask them how they would like you to respond. Remember, nobody likes a lecture after a strikeout. They're already hurting and have probably begun to analyze the whys and why nots before you even get to them. What they need is an ear and encouragement. If you choose to respond to their strikeout, you will both be the beneficiaries of your actions. So a quick thing for young parents. If your children are not scoring very well or they're making a mistake, don't tell them, मैंने कहा था ना, मैंने तुम्हें पहले ही warn किया, तुमने किया ही नहीं. फिर nobody wants advice, nobody wants criticism. Already उस person को पता है कि ये failure हो गया है. उसको अपने आप analyze करने दो. Just be there. I'm here. Whenever you're ready, come talk to me. Let the person know that. Just tell them truly that you're operating from unconditional love. So, of course, there are a few examples, and we will read about them tomorrow. And there's also another thing that we have to learn, another step also we have to learn. So we will learn about that step also tomorrow. But at the moment, let's think about what we have learned, that हम अपने आप को कहाँ embrace कर सकते हैं, कहाँ better कर सकते हैं. And हमारे goals का एक recheck भी हो रहा है कि हमने goals करे, timeline करी, task बनाए. Where are we going in our journey? Acha, yesterday, could you all see the yoga? For Rahul, sir, it was playing on his computer, but could you all see it? No, no, yeah, that's what even I thought. So, okay, cool. He said no, it was playing. So I told him to check, but we didn't have a conversation after that. So Rahul, sir, today let's hope that we can all see the yoga. We've been seeing it for all of the days. So let's go for it. Sun salutation time, please. Yeah, today we can see.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha. Om Marichaya Namaha. Om Adityaya Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaya Namaha. Om Bhaskaraya Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasana, Hastuttanasana, Madhahastasana, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana, Parvatasana, and hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left forward Ashvasanchalanasana, Padahastasana, Hastuttanasana, Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs, cobra, press back to mountain, right forward equestrian pose, hand to feet pose, raised arms position, prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing. Exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Amazing, wonderful. So I see Ruchi thoda pasina aata hai, which is good. Because otherwise, if you start following inhale, exhale, you'll never get tired. Surya Pranam, the best thing about this is if we follow the right inhaling, we are always having energy. We never really get tired. So we can even pull in many more. Gradually, I think after 15-20 days, we'll start picking up the pace and doing probably a little faster. Because by then we would have been aligned. So, all right. Today we are on this beautiful journey of preparing for the dimensional shift. So all of us by now know किस shift की बात हो रही है. When I talk about ascension, when I talk about shift, we know we are talking about a new shift in our being, in our different dimensions. Yesterday we've also understood that we already fourth dimension हमारा शुरू हो चुका था, shift हो चुका है, and अब हम higher dimension की तरफ बात कर रहे हैं. कई लोग ये भी बोलते हैं that we are already in 6th and 7th dimension. Of course, there's no way to check on anything, but these are the talks which are happening. So let's understand this chapter a bit more. Preparing for the dimensional shift, chapter number 17. By now, most readers are probably convinced that the dimensional shift will bring good changes in the lives of those that complete the shift. So please understand that line, those that complete the shift. So आप और मैं अपने आप को change कर सकते हैं, ready कर सकते हैं shift के लिए if we are operating out of unconditional love and trust the process. जब हमारे दिमाग में love आ जाएगा, trust आ जाएगा, we can see things clearly. That means आप और मैं ready हैं for the shift. The question is, at the same time, the common thinking is that changes of such magnitude will require some significant efforts on our part to allow us to make this shift. That's right. A lot of us will have this question. So the answer is, what is the question? What is the answer? What do we need to accelerate our progress to the fourth dimension? In reply to that question, most people are expecting a written procedure of rituals, instructions, exercises, prayers, or some other activity that needs to be practiced regularly over a period of time until we complete the shift. And that is the part they're dreading. So most of us recognize that when we learn about something good, we typically start out with a lot of enthusiasm, doing what is required, but slowly over a period of time, we slack off and ultimately give it up. Isn't that how most people are? You'll all agree with what Dr. Sani has to say about it. Suppose you want to lose weight. You go to your doctor or your advisor, your nutritionist or whoever, and they put you in a regular exercise program. First few days, you do the exercise very enthusiastically. Then your muscles start aching and starts feeling uncomfortable. Slowly you slack off. Ultimately, you give up exercising altogether. The good news here is that you don't need to do anything to do for the shift. If that is the case with you, then everyone should go through the shift without any problem. Then what differentiates the people who move on to the fourth dimension from those who stay in the third dimension? All right. I'll grant you what you had to do something, but it is not physical. All you need to do is change your thinking. Everything starts with a thought. Our minds then manifest those thoughts, whether they're positive or negative. That manifestation then creates our reality. And we function based on the unique reality. So a lot of you who are in the spiritual world will have heard of the word singularity. So what is singularity? Or what is the singular universe? So one thing is, single means one, right? One concept. When you and I are going to operate from unconditional love, when we find that oneness with everything, then we realize the universe is also one. The universe is all one. It is all energy. Everything is energy. Energy is vibration. Now, vibration is defined by frequency. The faster something vibrates, the higher the frequency. The slower something vibrates, the lower the frequency. The universe covers the entire spectrum of energy. That means it has all frequencies from very low to very high frequencies. Example dena chahungi. Right now, maybe 30 plus days of the transformation series. Maybe you're thinking positive, talking positive, acting positive. And there are people around you who are always positive, and there are people around you who are always negative, and there are people around you who are just talking negative, negative, negative. So, kiski kya vibration hai, by now you are able to understand. अब जो vibrations की lower vibration है, अब हमें ये भी समझ में आ रहा है that person is in a victim mode. अब हम उसको डांटने की जगह उठाए understand कि अरे ऐसे वो क्यों behave कर रहा है? It's because कुछ चीज कमी है उसकी life में. इसीलिए वो vibrate low कर रहा है. अब हम rather than complaining, criticizing, we are going to show compassion. We are all now progressing into a world where our vibration is very higher. our frequency is higher, we see good, we do good, we talk good. Why? Because the vibration is different. अब हम समझ रहे हैं धीरे धीरे, every day हमारी conditioning हो रही है कि oh, this is how my lifestyle has to change, my body has to change, my body can change, I can change, or my mind, I can do this, study this, read this, spiritually I can meditate. हम एक holistic growth धीरे धीरे अपनी body में find कर रहे हैं. हम ढूंढ दे आर फाइंडिंग चेंजेस आवरसेल्फ, किसी को बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, यहाँ कोई क्वेश्चनर नहीं ले रहा है हमसे. हमने अगर अपनी एटीट्यूड को कंटिन्यूस रखा इन आवर लर्निंग, वी आर फाइंडिंग द लिटिल शिफ्ट ऑलरेडी इन आवर एनर्जी, hence the vibration, hence energy. Everything is energy. Now there's a tug of war in the universe. There are only two opposing forces in the universe. आप लोगों ने सुना होगा ना मंथन, have you ever heard of it? I don't know, you've heard vision, you know. So anyway, that manthan is still going on. There are two opposing forces in the universe, and a constant tug of war goes on between these. Now, these forces are light force. What is the light force? Let's understand. The light force pulls things towards a higher vibration. हम लोग क्यों बोलते हैं कि I am love, I am light? What does light mean? Can anyone tell me in the chat box what does light mean? Light के दो तीन meanings है. Actual meaning क्या है? आप क्या समझे अभी तक? What does light mean? अगर हम light force की बात कर रहे हैं तो foundation has to be correct. What does light mean? So okay, if you're not light to share your not, okay. Power, energy, knowledge. Okay. I'm looking for something more. Enlighten with wisdom, openness. Yes. Enlightener, giver. So absolutely. So now we are open. We are moving towards brightness from darkness. Yes, absolutely. We are being, yes, light means moving towards higher self. Yes, we are all connected. And अब हम light feel कर रहे हैं. Heavy feel करते हैं ना when you're down and out and सब कुछ बुरा चल रहा है, बहुत dark energy होती है. You feel very low. अब कैसा feel कर रहा है? हल्का हल्का. You're waking up in the morning also, वो आपके लिए बहुत बड़ा effort नहीं है, हल्का हल्का feel कर रहा है. Why? Because you're working towards the light energy. Light जब जलती है, darkness खत्म हो जाती है ना. That's what we're all doing. We are trying to live in a very heightened terror. We are trying to find that our vibration is very high. So the light force pulls towards a higher vibration. The higher the vibration, the more the higher the vibration, the more there will be oneness, right? The light force works based on love and sharing. What is the dark force? The dark force pulls things towards a lower vibration. The lower the vibration, the more towards separation we move. The dark force works based on fear and greed. So अब मैं जैसे आपने मंथन देखा है, समुद्र मंथन देखा, you've seen ऐसे हो रहा है. ये वाला क्या हो रहा है? ऐसे हो रहा है. यहाँ लाइट है, यहाँ डार्क है. आप किस लेवल पे जा रहे हो? इस साइड पे हो रहा है. आप अपने आप को एलिवेट कर पा रहे हो कि आप नीचे चले जा रहे हो? सो नीचे डार्क फोर्स कैसे होगा? जब डर होगा, घृणा होगी, fear होगा, greed होगा. That is when you're going in a dark force. But if I go to somebody's house and say, oh my God, you have a majestic, beautiful house, then I'm proud of that person for the journey rather than saying, अरे इसका इतना बड़ा घर है, मेरा नहीं. जब मैंने पहला वाला बोला तो मैं लाइट फोर्स में जा रही हूँ. जब मैंने कंपैरिजन किया, मैं डार्क फोर्स में जा रही हूँ. जब हम डायमेंशंस की बात करते हैं, the higher the dimension, the higher the frequency, and the lower the dimension, the lower the frequency. I don't know how many of you know. You may have heard of heaven and hell. You may have heard of Swarga and Nark. Even in that realm, there are 7 realms. The lower जो realms होती है, वहाँ बहुत dark होती है. Souls are heavily bodied, and they नीचे वाले realm के बहुत easily they come and they latch on to somebody else's aura. Upar they're pretty high up there. So very, very, yes, something like feeling chart, absolutely. The feeling chart is all, this is all feeling chart if you see. Feeling chart में तो dimensions दिख रहे हैं, higher and lower, lighter and dark. उसमें भी तो यही है, ऊपर से light है, नीचे से darkness है. It's the same thing. Yes, we've read in Buddhism as well. All the religions will be talking about this, but it's just that अब हम शायद relate कर पा रहे हैं. Now, since we are currently in the 3rd dimension, we are at a relatively low frequency. To move in the 4th dimension, we need to raise our vibration rate of frequency. To move up, we need to get away from the downward pulling forces of fear and greed and move forward towards the upward pulling force of love and sharing. So, आप और मैं already 4th dimension में हैं ऑलरेडी आप और मैं लव एंड शेयरिंग के लिए रेडी हैं, ऑलरेडी हम दूर हैं डर एंड फियर से, तभी हम लोग यहाँ मॉर्निंग में कनेक्ट भी हो रहे हैं. नाउ अभी क्या हो रहा है, सोसाइटी कैसी है, इट्स बेस्ड ऑन फियर. Our current society is 100% based on dark forces of fear. Look at any of our systems or institutions, and without exception, you will find that they are fear-based. अब कैसी language use करते हैं हम लोग? If you don't do this, I'll punish you. If you don't behave in a certain way, we'll arrest you or put you in jail. If you don't study this, you will fail the test. If you don't finish your meal, you will not get dessert or ice cream. If you eat a chocolate cake, you will get fat. If you don't listen to me, I'll break off the relationship. If you don't take the vaccine, you will get sick. If you don't do as we say, we'll fire you. If you don't follow my religion, you'll suffer in hell for eternity. If you don't follow our laws, we'll kill you. I'll challenge you to come up with even one case where a society does not work from fear. So when I read this book, I tried to write down, and I was shocked to know the Sunny Platin is right. कुछ भी नहीं है जो डर के बिना नहीं चल रहा. Everything is fear-based. Every single thing is fear-based. Very few people are following the fearless base. सब जगह competition, सब जगह fear, peer pressure. That's what is happening. Now our actions based on greed. Even for fear, I'll tell you something. जो लोग businesses में हैं उनको fear होता है कि उनके competitors उनसे better कर लेंगे. But if they compliment their competitors, very soon they will be in the same position because you are liking what you're seeing and then you're attracting that towards you. Like attracts like, right? So अगर वो अच्छा business कर रहा है rather than saying अरे उसका business मुझे चाहिए, you start saying wow, what good business. Ultimately, you will be in the same tangent doing the same similar kind of business. So again, fear will not work. What will work is love, appreciation. So our actions based on greed. If you analyze your own behavior, you will notice that if you are not doing something out of fear, then you're almost certainly doing it out of greed. So अब अपने आप को analyze करना पड़ेगा हमको अपना behavior कि या हम डर के लिए कर रहे हैं या हम fear के लिए कर रहे हैं या डर and fear sorry या हम greed के लिए करते हैं कि अरे ये मिलेगा तो मुझे ये मिल जाएगा. What is my takeaway? What is my takeaway? मुझे क्या मिलने वाला है? That is greed also, right? Absolutely, Akshay. A lot of elders have felt this, and this is why they are thriving in their businesses versus somebody who's been jealous and they've gone completely nullified. So greed means a desire to acquire something for yourself. This is why we have a world with such polarities. The difference between the rich and the poor keeps growing. I'm sure all of us know by now that the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. That's something which is happening all the time because that's what they're expanding on. One person can keep billions of dollars in a bank while millions of others literally starve to death. One person can have 4 cars parked in the garage while hundreds have to walk to work. One lady can have hundreds of pairs of shoes in the closet while hundreds of others walk bare feet since they can't afford shoes. One person has a bank locker full of gold and diamonds while hundreds cannot even pay for children to go to school. Once again, we can go on and on with these real life situations. But the point to maintain here is almost all our actions are based on greed. Now, the combination of fear and greed keeps a society under the influence of the dark force and stuck in the low third dimension. We are like hot air balloons that want to go up but are tethered to the ground with the ropes of fear and greed. We need to cut these ropes if we want the balloon to go up. So eliminate all fears. All of us can do it. So one quick thing I would like to share with all of you. I don't know how many of you are into it. For the first 3 hours of your life, whenever you're waking up, of course, nowadays it'll be fine. Please don't look at the newspaper. Please do not look at the newspaper. I repeat, why? Because it's full of fear. It's full of misery, at least the first few pages. You know why? Because 5% of the world controls the population, the money of 95% of people. And when they're bringing a negative thought in your mind, first thing in the morning, that's how your day will become. So elevate your thoughts, go in the world of love and not of fear, not of the dark forces. So newspaper is also a dark force energy. Once there will come a newspaper which will be only about light energy, but that is still not come so much. Or even if they're there, we don't know about them because the circulation is so less. There's nothing called gripping news. So we probably don't even subscribe to it. So please let's eliminate all fears, All of us can do it. What is fear? But fear is nothing but an irrational thought, irrelevant thought. Imagine you're afraid of spiders. Are you sitting in your bedroom? Suddenly on a wall, you notice a spider. Some of you can even relate this to anything, any lizard or whatever. Some of you have fear of cockroaches. So whatever you, just imagine. You suddenly start screaming, sweating, jumping on the bed, maybe even running out of the room. Your heart starts beating really fast. Most probably, a spider never did any harm to you anyways. You're so big and the spider is so small. You can't squish the spider easily, and the spider can't do anything to you. In fact, the spider should be afraid of you. You look like the giant of the spider. Yet, you're the one jumping up and down and screaming. How rational is that? Well, now some of you may be thinking that spiders are little things. But are you genuinely afraid of bigger and more serious things that affect your daily life? Is your fear more serious? Suppose you are afraid that the company you work for might go bankrupt. You may lose your job, your paycheck, and your only means of financial support for the family. Now that in your mind is something big and serious. This is not a mere spider. Let me ask you a question. How is your fear of losing your job helping you in any way? The only thing that fear is doing is making you feel miserable and sick. And it is keeping you from doing the things that you should be doing. You should be proactive in maybe looking for another job or any alternative ways of making money. That will definitely help your situation. On the other hand, you can sit and worry and be afraid of losing your job all you want. It will not keep your company from going bankrupt or keep you from losing your job. So if your fear is not helping you in any way whatsoever and only making you sick, then why do you want to keep that fear? Actually, fears are very easy to get rid of. If you have a strong mind, you can decide and instantly let go of the fears, and you will no longer be afraid. But for others, if you need some help, go visit a hypnotherapist. Hypnotherapy is the only way to get rid of fears very fast and easily. So, how all of us can live a fear-free life, and what should we be doing, or understanding a bit about this? We'll do that tomorrow, because this chapter will take another day for us to understand this shift and how we're ready for it. But just understand one thing. Start analyzing what all are you fearful of. Why is the word fearful and fearless made? Fear is fear, we've understood. डर है किसी चीज का. Fearful, you're full of fear for something. And fearless matlab you don't have no dar of anything. So do we have to become fearful or fearless? This is a dark force. So we have to work on our energy and become fearless. So work on that. And how do you become fearless? By filling yourself with more love. Remember, love is the only answer for anything that you and I have in life. Let's understand that we have to follow that, and that is the only right way. All right, so divine right action. Somebody who wants to read can please raise their hand. Wherever you go and whomever you meet, you will find your own love waiting for you. So how wonderful that everything in life is about love. जहाँ भी हम जा रहे हैं, जिससे भी हम मिल रहे हैं, हम कैसे हैं, that love is showing up. So very, very important for us to understand that. I follow the path of right action, and so it is. Akshay, over to you.
Am I audible?
Absolutely.
In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. Knowing that I am one with the source and that I follow the path of right action, I am on principle at all times. I choose my thoughts to be in alignment with all that is for my highest good and greatest joy. My quality of life reflects this state that I presently want to be in. I love life. I love myself. I am safe at all times. All is well in my world.
How beautiful. Thank you for reading, Akshay. Thank you so much. So isn't it amazing that we are in the right place at the right time and everything is happening perfectly, and are we using our thoughts and things are in alignment? Now the $1,000,000 question is, where are our thoughts? Have we changed our thoughts? Abhi, if we are doing khatter patter, if we're thinking that things are not going well, then our thoughts are not aligned. So today, do you want to Today, do you want to talk about thoughts in your meditation or something else? Let me know and let's start. So now I'm trying to purposely not have music so that all of us can learn the sound of silence as music. So if you're okay with that, let me know. But if you think you're still in the infant stage and you want the music, I'm okay for that. So let's just work on ourselves. Let's condition ourselves. So with music, without music, you can let me know so that tomorrow onwards we can fix it up. Today, let's have it without the music. All right, everyone, let's check our postures. Our back straight, our feet firmly placed on the ground below. We could be cross-legged, however. Our hands comfortably facing heavenwards. Eyes closed, a soft smile on our faces. Let's take a deep breath in and observe the breathing going in. Feel the breathing and gently exhale it, and feel each breath being exhaled. Inhale, exhale. Observe the bend. Inhale, exhale. Life is magical. Life is satisfaction. Life is growth. We are the creators of our life. As we are made by the Supreme Being, the God, He has made each one of us independent with our own functioning of our body independently, with the mind being independent. We can choose to clutter our mind or make it free. We can choose to fill the dark forces or change them, replace them, and add the light forces. We can choose to fall in love with life or criticize, complain, and be the victims. Everything starts from a thought, and a thought is 100% our own ownership. Whether we are becoming rich or poor, sick or healthy, everything starts from a thought. We can create the world that we desire with the mere use of our thought. Let's get centered, balanced, and aligned, and tell ourselves that thoughts are what we create wholeheartedly, and thought can be changed. If anything negative comes up, we have the power to immediately change that also. We can nullify any negative by thinking a positive. Such is the power of thought. We can sow the seeds of goodness, wellness in our fertile mind and see them manifesting slowly and gradually. Each one of us can surrender magnanimously, trusting the process of the universe. Because we are the thinkers, we are the believers, and we are the achievers. We are the ones who can either become fearful or fearless. It's all in our hands. No longer do we victimize ourselves by putting the blame on somebody else. We take ownership, knowing fully well that whatever we want, we create. However we want, we can navigate our life. We all know by now that we're here for a spiritual journey, a spiritual evolution. Knowingly, unknowingly, we are here because we are meant to make our lives much better. All the authors with their readings and teachings are coming to us for the right reason at the right time. We can choose to wake up to happiness or wake up to sadness. All is in our mind. Our mind, the place where we create whatever we want. Each one of us is manifesting day in, day out, which means we are reconditioning, reprogramming, unlearning, and learning daily. Let's all find life and lessons, life in people, lessons from people, lessons from life. Let's all become learners. Let's all become seekers. And let's all become the doers by practicing whatever we are learning. Because implementation will take our game of life to a highest force, where we'll be radiating in a world of love and light. Let's enjoy the silence around us, or the noises around us, or whatever we call the sounds around us. It could be the ACs buzzing, the fans moving. It could be the sound of silence buzzing in our ears. It could be probably the trees, the leaves, the movement of birds, or maybe just the sound of silence. Let's soak in it to understand what are we resonating. Are we finding peace? Or are there still thoughts? If thoughts are coming, let them come and flow. Don't fight them. Remember, whatever we expand gets expanded. So if our fight for our thoughts is there, we're expanding the fight. So let it all flow. Let us be like water. Let us simply flow. Let us consciously give a big round of gratitude for the sun to rise up, to give us life. Let's imagine now that we're looking at the night and up in the sky is a moon, helping us manifest, full of emotions. Up there are the glittering stars, guiding us, navigating us. These stars could be people we've lost, or angels and guardians, or mentors and teachers and gurus and guides in this realm or the others. Let's start living under the sunlight, the moonlight, and the starlight, because we are now the light. Feel the beautiful light of the tree entering your body through your crown chakra, the sangam of the tree entering your body, giving you this bright, healing white light. This bright, healing white light is washing down your entire body, organ by organ, limb by limb, cell by cell. The trillions of cells in your body are being filled with this luminous white light. Your entire body has tingling because the light is so beautiful, so bright. And all of a sudden, everything seems clear in our life. We're able to create whatever we desire because things are becoming so clear. This healing light is here to stay. So include it as part of you, but share your light with the world. Expand your circle of love. Ultimately, it's thoughts that we're creating. When we start becoming givers, knowingly, unknowingly, we start becoming receivers of blessings, and life unfolds absolutely magically. So let's take a vow that each one of us will think good thoughts, do good deeds, hear good deeds, or of them, and say good things henceforth. Appreciation, love, light. Let our thoughts evolve. Let each one of us evolve to the best versions of ourselves. Let each person be a person in progress, only bettering and furthering their journey intellectually, mindfully, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. We're all in the best phase of our life, and so it is. Let's bow our heads in gratitude. Let's look at the eye level and thank our life, the way you perceive it. Let's look up at the heavens, expand our hands, and thank the way you wanted to thank today. Expand our angel heart and say the affirmations you wish to say today. Let's fold our hands in gratitude and give your appreciation, your gratitude for everything in your way. Let's fold our hands once more, like tighter. Bring them more closer together as if the blood has stopped circulating. Very tight, very, very, very tight. And now you rub it forcefully. Feel the heat today. And with this heat, bless your five senses, your face. So much more power. Bless your shoulders, your neck, arms, backside of your body. Keep blessing it, massaging it from top to bottom. Bless the soles of your feet from where you're rising into Mother Earth. You're going stronger, deeper. Turn your hands around, bless the upper part of your feet, your calves, your knees, your lower body, going into upper body, blessing each organ, each body part. Finally coming to your heart. Feel it beat. Enjoy the beating of your heart. Again, let's fold our hands. Let's thank our magical body, where our brain is, where our thoughts are, where our mind is, where our heart is. Let's wish for the coherence. Let's thank our spirit guides, our soul, because we are the soul in our journey, and dearest divinity in me. Let's bless everyone around us, seeing more love, more light, more abundance. That all beings on Mother Earth evolve, elevate, and be ready for the shift and ascension. So it is. Nikita, Ruchi, Supriya, Meenakshi, Niriksha, Pratimaji, Asmeet, Radhika, Pina, Amit, Shalu, Akshay, Neha, Shivani, Jitendraji, Ruchi, Kunal, Ushaji, Neha, Vijayji, Manisha, Shami, Ankur, Parul, Richa, Kamakshi, Arvindji, Sonakshi. Born 1 to 1 for life. Rahul sir, Amrita ma'am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you to each one of you for making this morning magical and for tuning in to good vibration and seeing the light forces. Of course, we are all people in progress. We will have our challenges, but remember, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So when the going gets tough, a lot of you are going through those tough phases also. So please increase your gratitude level a bit more. Whenever you are in doubt, whenever things aren't going easy, gratitude has to go deeper, deeper, deeper. At times you won't feel it, but you should do it a bit more, if not for something currently, maybe for something in the past. Let each one of us evolve to the next level. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless us all. Thank you.